Hi and welcome along to the All Guns Blazing podcast. Myself and Mr. DT, no guest this week. It was good to have Flex here last week.
No probation officer.
Yeah. Remember last week we had Flex here, Man United fan, and he's grinning from ear to ear after that game. He hasn't shut up after that game last week. We'll touch on that actually. First of all, you've been behaving yourself? Behaving yourself this week?
No, I haven't.
I saw you this week even arguing big time with Alan Shearer.
Yeah.
I mean, how'd you?
You know what? Right?
Oh my God!
You know what?
How'd you do it?
I'm gonna go for a few little things, right? Firstly, my issue with Alan Shearer was very simple. On his analysis on Match of the Day, he turned around and said that Man United dominated us and that we couldn't live with them. I disagreed with that. The reason why Twitter is there is so that you can, express your opinions about what you've seen. And I turned around and said about, the absolute state of Alan Shearer's opinions and everything else. Man United never. It's not that we couldn't live with them. If anything, they couldn't live with us, and it was David De Gea. I've never once denied our defending was shocking in the opening 15 minutes. I never once denied that we were contributors to our own downfall. He then tweets me the next day, and he starts quoting things that I've said.
Yeah, he actually went through. He actually went back through your tweets, through your timeline. Alan Shearer took time.
You know what I mean? Now I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, why are you mentioning? I put a tweet up the day before saying we've conceded more goals than Swansea, right? Which shows that we've got a defensive problem. Not denied that. So why are you mentioning that? Why are you bringing up all the? This was about what you said, which was that Man United dominated us.
They didn't dominate us.
No, that was the thing.
I think we're. You know what? Like with his analysis, I think what we have to remember as Arsenal fans. So after that game, we're all very pleased, not with the result, but with the reaction.
Yeah.
Because normally we've seen games like that in the past where we've just capitulated and it's just been embarrassing.
Yeah.
But actually, we threw the kitchen sink at them. And if it hadn't have been for De Gea, even yesterday I was chatting to a United fan, he goes, I feared that we'd lose the game. He goes, even at 2-0.
The funniest thing.
But where I think Shearer does have a point now, the game has two elements to it. Attack and defence. And the defending by Arsenal was woeful.
I know.
So
but maybe if United
hadn't been 2-0 down, they might not have been on the back foot for the whole game. They might have had a different strategy going ahead. So, but to say they dominated us, I think that's a bit.
That's what I mean.
I think that word's wrong.
And the problem that Arsenal fans have got is that there seems to be a big thing with Match of the Day at the moment. Because even when you go to the Burnley highlights, for example, we had 8-9 shots and they showed one of them. I think it was 1 or 2, and yet Burnley had 7 shots and they showed 6 of them. So they made the footage look like Burnley completely dominated us. And there's just seems to be this thing.
On that, right? On that. So my brother used to be the editor of Match of the Day too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he always used to tell me, right, guys, every week they get letters in from whoever the other club is and say, how comes you didn't show, more of us? Our attacks, or how comes you didn't show this incident? And he's like, we've only got a certain amount of time in which to package up the highlights of that game. Obviously, we can't show absolutely every attack, and they just pick the best bits.
What they should show are key elements that could be a part of changing the game. Like, for example, they didn't even mention the 2 penalties that we should have had against Manchester United.
No, the Welbeck one was a nail.
The Welbeck one was just an absolute stonewall penalty. The Lacazette one, Rojo's gone across his neck. This is not WWE, right? And at that time, there was 19 minutes gone in the game. Penalty.
Different game. The way we were playing.
10 men.
Yeah.
Completely different game. But yet they don't highlight this. They don't bring it up. And then they want to go and bring up comments like Manchester United dominated us. It's like they're deliberately doing it for a reaction because they know that
they got it.
No, they got a reaction from me, and then you get Ian Wright getting involved, where Ian's sticking up for Alan Shearer and stuff like that, and then Gary Lineker's got.
They all work on the same show.
But at the end of the day,
I'd be sticking up for you, wouldn't I? I wouldn't be.
Behave yourself. You never stick up for me.
I wouldn't be. No, listen. If it was the two of us on this show, I wouldn't be there then turning around and saying, actually, I agree with the other guys and this and throwing you under the bus, would I? They all work on the same programme.
But at the end of the day, be honest, because all Ian done was go and get the backs up of Arsenal fans, and then he made comments which were completely out of order. He apologised for them, and you know, I sent him a tweet, and I was not rude in what I said to Ian. I said that loved him as a player, and I said, and yes, we've had our differences in the past as well, which we ironed out. And I said, but I feel his comments were completely out of order, and he needs to apologise for those. And I myself am someone that's fought like Ian before, which is foreign fans don't understand like we do. They don't go to the games or anything else. But over the last few years, where I've been on ArsenalFanTV and I've met so many foreign fans, it's opened my eyes to reality, which is, you know what, they're just as much fans as we do. Yeah, we make the treks and go week in, week out. You've got people in India to Australia and wherever that get up at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And yeah, okay, they can turn the telly off at the end of the game, whereas we've got to make the long journey.
They still feel it, though.
But they've literally,
they still feel it.
You know, they've been up since 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. They've just turned the telly off, and then they've got to go and get ready to go to work. You know, or try and.
I've got nothing but respect for.
Yeah, no, and that's what I'm saying.
And those fans, I keep saying it to people, are exactly the same as every other fan that goes to the Emirates. Sometimes better. Right, because they don't leave the TV 15 minutes early. They don't sit and whinge for the whole thing. They don't, you know, they're behind their team. Yeah. Sometimes they're better. The only difference between those fans and the fans that go,
we've been privileged.
Is that we're lucky enough. Is that we're lucky enough that it's nearby to us and we can go. A guy in Australia can't go week in, week out, can he? Or America, or whatever. Simple as. You know, it's the only difference.
The amount of times when I'm doing my interviews after a game, and then obviously you get people afterwards that want to talk to you and have photos with you or anything, and I still find that weird anyway, because I'm just a normal fan. It's just, you know, I'm in the spotlight, so to speak. But you know, the amount of them that come up to me and they're like, oh, I've travelled from Australia for this game. I've travelled from, you know, different areas in America. I've had so many people from so many different parts of America. I've had people from India, from Pakistan. You know, there was one from Nepal that come up to me, you know, and you've got your China and Korea. And I've had every kind of nationality and every race that you can imagine come up to me to speak to me after a game, and it makes you sit and think.
I was surprised at the comments that Ian Wright made, and I was, you know, but I was pleased that he apologised about that, because, you know, I've been privileged to be able to go to some of these places, and I've seen for myself the passion in it. When these fans are talking to you, sometimes they're telling me stuff I didn't even remember. They're like so knowledgeable.
They've educated themselves.
They are so knowledgeable about Arsenal, and they're so passionate about us. The same passion that I see when I go to games with fans, I see with those fans. So, you know, as I said, the only difference is we're able to go. So there's no way that they should ever get dissed.
No.
Ever.
No. Like I said, I agree with that. And it's just, you know, this last week's kind of, it's just been a bit of a roller coaster in many respects and stuff like that, and it's just
another one.
Well, do you know what, Robbie, right, is that I'm going to be very open with some of the things that I say, but not try to be disrespectful. And it's just the argument with Heavy D, like, let's go on to this first and foremost, right? I was out of order for reacting, and I told you straight away, I said I wished I'd never reacted to him. I wished that I'd never responded and rose to the bait. I wished I never, and it was pretty straightforward. Straight after that, I had actually phoned you to say to you, I apologise. I said I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have reacted. And I said, but he wound me up. And I said, and we've just lost to Manchester United, and I'm already in a state of where I'm, you know what I mean? And that's what it's like. And what annoyed me is the fact that ArsenalFanTV is there for you to express your opinions on the game. That's what you're there for. You know, for the fans, by the fans. That's what the motto is. Right, ArsenalFanTV's come under a lot of criticism over certain things, from myself to troops, regulars, and all this kind of stuff. We're in it for the money. You've got limos, kitchens, and all this kind of, and we banter it. You know what I mean? We do banter it and everything else, because, you know, that's the best way of dealing with it, is by smiling. And it's the first thing that come out of his mouth when he walked on there was to talk about Coogan and the fight that he wants with him, and then he starts being disrespectful about me and calling me a pussy-hole and Coogan's bitch. I've not provoked any of that. I've not warranted any of that. And the way I look at it, you've came on there and your first thought is not Arsenal, Manchester United. Your first thought is, how can I promote myself? How can I get something out there for what I'm in the process of doing? And that really wound me up, because it's disrespectful for you, it's disrespectful for the channel, it's disrespectful for everyone that works on ArsenalFanTV and puts in all the hard work, from Brent to Tao and, you know, Loomis and everyone else that do all the stuff behind the scenes. It's disrespectful. And like I said, I wish I never reacted. I wish I'd come over and said, you know what, take your grievance elsewhere. You know, I gave them what they wanted. Yeah? And that's why when I then move on to Mo, right? Mo knew what he was doing. I didn't even see him filming, right? He had his phone in a way where I didn't even know he was filming. The moment he stopped filming, that was online. Disrespectful, because it puts us in a bad light. Now, I've admitted I was wrong for reacting. Yeah, but it puts you in a bad light when you've done nothing wrong. Yeah,
why did the thing? Right. So this is what I'd say to you. Yeah, you've been open and honest, right? In that you got to stop reacting to.
I know I have.
Because what it is, right? People realise in life, right, that people got triggers sometimes, and they'll try and push those triggers, right? It's something that I've learned. Right? I you know, it's been a lesson for me being on ArsenalFanTV. It really has. I mean, I remember last year when that incident happened, outside the ground, when those guys turned up, right, and they started, you know, carrying on. I didn't want to go into much detail. That particular day, that particular week, as you know, right, I was going through some things in my head. I lost my niece, tragically, you know what I mean, like all of my family in serious mourning. As you said, people see sometimes, they see you got a big smile on your face here, but underneath, you know what I mean, I was going for a really, really tough time,
That's what that's what upset me at that time, because I'd been on the phone to you all that week.
And those guys turned up at that moment on that day, and I'm telling you, I think me of years gone by would have reacted to that situation. But something inside me just said to me, Robbie, do not react to this. Ignore, you know, even though it was really hard, that he said, ignore this. And you have to be professional. You have to get beyond it, and I did, and I'm so grateful that I did do that, and I just think that it's a challenge for anybody who's on social media, because as I said, people try to all the time. They try to press your buttons, they try to wind you up. And if you react, they've got exactly what they want.
Yeah, of course. I know.
And sometimes, what we've got to try and learn is a bit of self-control in ourselves, which I said is hard. Sometimes it is hard. I've had some situations. I'm like, wow.
I know. Right? The thing is, that week itself, I was so angry because of what they put you through. Now, obviously, your nephew, I know your nephew really well, way before I knew you and stuff like that. And I know what happened to your niece and that, and I'm not going to go into details and stuff like that, but what people won't even realise is a few weeks after that, the other tragedy that you had on top of that, you know, and like people I said, I'm not going to go into that.
But people don't see these things.
And they don't. And how you manage to control yourself, because my initial reaction was that if someone confronted me like that, and literally a couple of days before, you was in a hospital, you know, watching them turn off a life support machine to your niece, and watching your brother and what he was going through with his daughter and your nephew and his sister, and it makes me cold thinking about it because I've lost my brother, so I know how this feels in that sense, and it gets me so worked up. I would have been swinging. So how you self-controlled that day,
I think
nothing but admiration for that.
You know where I've come from, and I would have been swinging. But something just said to me, and I'm so grateful for that. And how I look on it is that now I look at that moment and I say, I'm so proud of myself that, that I didn't react.
You are.
And I think if I would have reacted now, I'd be full of regret for reacting. So I understand where you're coming from. And sometimes it's about, you know, we have to just sort of pull ourselves back a bit. I remember I spoke to Levi Roots, you know, the guy reggae source and that. And I remember I went to his. I remember we did an interview.
He
and
done
I was
his
chatting
opening,
to
his
at his restaurant, and that,
restaurant,
right?
yeah.
And he's a really, really nice guy. And he gave me some advice on that day, and I was like, wow, you know what? Actually, because he was like, you know what? I see your thing growing, your platform, and he goes, you know what? He goes, as you start to grow, he goes, you're gonna get haters, man.
Yeah.
He goes, be prepared for this, and he goes, those haters are gonna come at you, but he goes, don't react to those haters, man. He goes, I'm telling you now. He goes, do not react to it. Don't. He said, focus on what you're doing, and do not let them derail you off of that. And he's so true, because he said to me, that's what he's been through.
I know.
And I remember he just came out with that. I wasn't even seeking that advice off of him. He just came out of that, and I was like, I walked away from that. I was like, you know what? Wow, man. It's like that man was meant to give me that advice today. You know what I mean? Because up until then, there were certain situations I'm thinking, I go out of games sometimes, some people are saying some things, I'm thinking, who's this guy talking to? This little 4 foot idiot. Should I just, boom, give him one slap? But that's not the way to do it. It's not the way. Yeah. It's not the way, man. This is not the way.
This is the thing, and I've come to realise it as well, and it's just like, some of the comments that you get online are way below a belt. It's disgusting, it's disgraceful, and it's just like, I challenge anyone to step in my shoes for 5 minutes and just see what I have to deal with.
Do you feel some of it?
Do you know what? No,
do you feel?
You know what?
Because you know what?
No, listen. I fuel some things by reacting.
Yeah.
Okay. But the fact of the matter is, right?
Hold on. Do you think, because you're very? I see your on Twitter. Your Twitter account's brilliant, because you're genius, and you know how to wind people up as well. So you be on the wind up, yeah. You wind up, let's say we beat United last week. You would have been on the wind up.
But listen. What I'm saying is, there's football banter, right?
Yeah.
There's football banter. Now, there's a lot of fans out there from any club that I can banter with. I can make, I've had, before we played Man City, I was winding them up left, right, and centre. But I've had Man City fans come to me and say, I've got so much respect for you, and I understand it's banter. I had a guy up in Manchester come up to me afterwards when we was doing the interviews, old school Manchester United fan, and he watches the podcasts and everything else, and he turned around and he said, I wasn't offended by anything that you said. And he goes, because I understand it's banter. He goes, if it was a Man United fan that said it, then I'd be really offended by it, because there's a rivalry. And he goes, and I understand. He goes, if at the end of the day we would have clubbed the size of Arsenal, and this club had come along with all our money and started taking our players, I'd feel just like you. And he goes, so I get the banter. And he goes, and you're never on a personal level. You never, I've reacted to some people and put them down, but there's always been something that's made me react. And I know that I shouldn't do it all the time, right? But what you've got to understand is, right, I could put just a simple tweet up talking about my previews out this week. I'll go through the comments. Fat cunt, right? Nonce. Not allowed to see your children. Beat your missus up. Break her jaw. You tell me that's not going to fucking wind me up. I get to a point, where
you have to.
It's so constant, right? And a lot of them I'm block. And I'm sitting there and I'm just looking and I'm thinking, I don't see my children. Go and look at my matchday vlogs, because my children are in it, right? At the Emirates Cup, my youngest one is too young to go on a weekly basis, too young. Emirates Cup was the perfect opportunity where I could take all my 3 boys to be a part of something, because people know me and how it's been passed down to me, and I want to pass it down to my children. And at the Emirates Cup, I had my 3 boys with me, People are talking about I've got restraining orders against my children, Kieran, who obviously is the eldest one, he's 17. He responded the other week because he had saw stuff on Twitter. And he said, why are you saying these kind of things about my dad? I'm sitting in my bedroom at his house right now, and you're saying he's not allowed to see me. So these kind of things are now having an effect on my children. He's not asked for none of this. And this is what I'm saying. Though, no, I understand fully. That
the only person, so Twitter, Instagram, YouTube comments, all that. Listen, you can put in as much controls on it or whatever. You can't.
You can't control them.
I speak to so many people. Like I speak to so many YouTubers, so many people who are big on social media. You know, I mean, we go to these functions, we're all chatting, and it's a common thing. Everybody says that, yo, listen, man. The first thing that hit me as we started to get big on these accounts is the abuse, the haters. And I always say to them, I go, yeah, but you know what? The only people who can control that is us.
Yeah.
And we can only control it by, we have to kind of build a little mechanism in where we start to ignore that stuff. So me now, when I see certain things, I'm even laughing. I even just say, if it's too deep, I'll just block or mute or whatever. I just say, I'll mute this guy off my timeline. Get off, man. You know what I mean? If you dislike me so much, what are you doing here?
Yeah, I know.
Bang,
I know.
right? Or I just ignore. I do not. I've taken a conscious decision, right? And I'm not perfect, because sometimes I do see stuff that I think, hey, listen, man. If I did see this guy, I had some guy last year make a video saying Robbie's a member of the Illuminati. I was like, what? That's what this guy said. That one really wound me up. I was so mad about that one, right? I was like, I don't know this guy from Adam. I'm like, yeah. But then I said to myself, I was about to go in on this guy.
But then you give him what he wants.
And then I said to myself, hold on a minute. I looked at his, they're about 100 followers or something. I go, yeah, listen, why am I introducing this guy to so many people? Why am I showing people that this has affected me, that it has wound me up? I was like, let's ignore the fool, man. Yeah. You know what I mean? His Illuminati video or whatever he's rubbish he's chatting, nobody won't even see it. I never heard nothing about it since. So we have to, it's about us having a bit of and I know the difficulties of it, because I've literally, I was at a YouTube event, and the people that I really felt sorry for at this event, you had some big YouTubers on there, but you know, like some of these girls, right, that do these fashion stuff and that. Oh my God, some of the abuse and hate that they get.
Yeah, I know.
Just because, you know, they're good looking girls and they're getting stuff sent to them, you know, where they then, you know, when it gets sent to them, they're putting makeup on and clothes and things like that. And they're getting, oh my God, when the girls show me some of the abuse she gets, I was like, hey, football stuff is nothing. And she was like, this affects me. She goes, when I came, because she said at first it was all so friendly and everybody, but she goes, as I started to get to a certain level, she goes, so much hate. But then, as I said to her, I go, yeah, but I go, you know what? You just showed me 5 comments on your videos, right? Yeah, right? I go, you just showed me 5 comments that were really horrible and hateful. But actually, I just looked on how many comments you got for that video. You got 5,000. So why are you worried about 5? Why are you worried about, if you, the logic of it, say to your head, why are you worried? That's the attitude I have when I go to football.
Yeah, because
I go to football and I'll be walking and lots of people are coming up to me, Robbie, love ArsenalFanTV, keep doing what you're doing, respect, right? And I'll be doing that all day long. You're getting out and you're taking pictures with people and people are showing you love, and even people are constructive in their criticism. They'll come, you know what, I like what you're doing, but why don't you change this, or why don't you do even that I love. And then later on in the day now, you might pass a code, yeah, Robbie, fucking prick. Now, how I look on it is, am I gonna, after I've had a whole day of everybody giving us a lot of love,
worry about the one person?
Why am I gonna worry about this one loser now who's come up with his little, you know, even if you feel that way, don't watch.
Well, this is the thing that's got me, right, is because I've kept a lot of my personal life secret. Right? A lot of it I keep quiet. Simple reason being that
it's your personal life, isn't it?
You know, because I don't want people to have ammunition against me. Like my 7-year-old, he comes to all the games with me now. But I try and, like, I don't put pictures of him up because I know someone will use that and someone will say something. And that's the one subject that really makes me react, is my kids, because it's like, why are you doing it for no reason? By chance, he's been in my vlogs because I can't get out of putting him in, and he's right next to me, he's celebrating, he's jumping, he's going mad. And I think it's a beautiful thing, seeing that. And it's, what winds me up is that people say things so openly without knowing your life or your situation. Now, I've been very, very cautious to ever mention this or to say things and stuff like that. One of the comments I get all the time is that I'm fat. I know I'm not, right? What people don't realise is the reason why my weight can fluctuate the way it does is because of my illness, right? They don't realise that I'm on steroids. Right? Not anabolic steroids. I'm not pumping juice into my arms and trying to, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to be like, you know, He-Man and whatever. But what they don't realise is that I suffer from Crohn's disease. Right? Now, I've kept this quiet. I could go out there and I could make a big thing of this. I can make a huge thing of this. You know this, but people out there won't know this till now. On the last international break, right, I was in hospital for 6 days. You know, you was in New York and you was on the phone to me checking to see if I'm all right.
And you should have been in hospital before then.
And I should have been in hospital before then. Now,
because he wanted to go to Arsenal, he put off going to hospital right until the international break, and it could have been fatal. Because you need to to stop that. To be honest.
I know that,
you know?
And this is what people have got to understand, right? When I went into hospital, I was having a flare up of my Crohn's. Now, to give people an indication of my situation, my brother died, right, and he had Crohn's disease. Now, my brother went into hospital for routine checks to do his normal bits and pieces, and he had a flare up. While he was in there, he caught pneumonia. I spoke to my mum the day that he died. You know what? Even now, man, it's very rare that I break down or I say something, but some of the comments I get about my brother, I watched him die.
No, see, it's hard, and this is what I'm saying with it is tough.
I watched him.
It's really,
do you know
really
what,
tough.
Robbie? Right, I watched him. Yeah, the hospital turned around and told me. My mum told me not to go up and see him on this night because he was just getting over pneumonia, and that he was in ICU, and not to go in there. Just let him have a couple of days. This was about 7:30, and I was on my way to go and see him. By 1 o'clock in the morning, my dad was on the phone to me telling me to get to the hospital because he was going. There's nothing they could do. I got up to the hospital, I walked into ICU, and I had to watch my mum, my dad, his wife, his children, all sit around his bedside, and I'm sitting there going, what do you mean he's going? What? He'd caught septicemia. People that don't realise what septicemia is blood poisoning. It rips through your body. It killed him within the space of hours. And I'm watching him take his last breath. And then I've got people online telling me that I'm embarrassing my brother because I openly admitted online once that my brother had passed away, because during a game when it was to do with the time when he passed away and everything, the emotion of the day, because before we played this game I went and sat at his grave. And I broke down on one of my vlogs, and people used that against me. And
but you know what?
Me up.
Yeah, and this is what I'm trying to say, right? That these people that do these things, that hide behind their keyboards, that know that they're gonna they know what it's gonna cause, and I think the only way is, you know, listen. Social media's got social media's a beautiful thing. Without social media, we wouldn't be. You know what I mean?
But it's tough.
But then it can also be a very tough thing, because, as I said, as the bigger you get, the bigger your accounts get, and that, the more and more you get these little people come on, and it is only a minority, but they can, you know, they know what they're doing, they know the buttons they're pressing, they know you know. But the problem is this, DT, yeah, that the only people, I think, this is my analysis of it now, is the only people who can control it is us.
Yeah, I know.
Twitter can't control it.
No.
YouTube can't control it. Insta can't control it. Snap, nobody can control it.
To be fair, Instagram and Facebook are nowhere near like Twitter. Twitter's the worst one.
The only people who can control it is us. So, number one, we ignore comments. Number two, even if it's getting really bad, we maybe even have to come off of it for a few days and then come back and that. But we're the only people really, unfortunately, you know, we're the only people that can control it, because I don't think it's ever gonna stop. You're always gonna, there'll be some idiot watching this now who'll be like, I know what to do to wind DT up next time if we lose. You know, so
yeah, I understand.
We have to
understand. And this is why,
and that's what I'm saying, is we have to try
and this is why, you know, I keep so much of my personal life to myself. And
but then, having said that, you need to we're in the hospital, and this is what this guy, right? And this is what I say to people, right? That he's nuts Arsenal fan, because I couldn't believe it last time. I'm like, mate, you've got a hospital appointment, and you're putting that off to the international break because you don't want to miss an Arsenal game. What
actually happened is, right, what people got to realise, is that I take steroids on a daily basis, all kinds of medication that they've got to give me, and everything else. And like I said, if I'm being open about everything, then I've got nothing to hide.
Exactly.
But what actually happened was, and I laugh about it now, but the severity of this is that I was feeling pain in my lower right hand side for a while. And I was thinking of it as being just a normal flare-up of the Crohn's and stuff like that. And I deal with it day by day. You manage it, you get through it, you do what you have to. You can't keep going knocking on a hospital's door every 5 minutes, because when you've lived with it for so long, you understand how your body works and stuff. To give you an idea of what's actually wrong with me at the moment is that I've got 4 strictures inside my bowels at the moment, which are irreparable. Doctors said they're irreparable. I need another operation to remove them. I've had 2 already. Now there's this big thing about me in the summer and not going to Australia and stuff like that, and people talking and everything else. It was a very minor keyhole procedure where I had to have a blockage removed. And people want to say whatever they want to say. I also had a major operation a few years ago where they opened me right up, and I've got a scar from here going right up the middle of my stomach. Now they do it keyhole. Back then they had to cut me open. Now the surgeon has already said to me that he's going to try my procedure keyhole, but because I've had open surgery, there could be complications, and it means that they may just have to open me up if the worst comes to the worst while they're trying to do it. It's about a 10-11 hour operation.
Don't tell me you wait till the end of the season.
No, it's about a 10. The doctors have said that my body's not strong enough to take it. It's about a 10-11 hour operation, and it's really severe. Now I was put in once to have this operation. At the same time, we were playing Sutton United last year in the Cup. The week leading up to it, I caught a chest infection. Doctors turned around and said, "You're not fit enough for this one. We can't physically do it to you." They then went and done tests and everything else, and they realised that my iron levels were ridiculously, stupidly low. They then immediately decided that they wanted to give me an iron infusion. All right, so they done that. The day after, they then put me on this new medication, which is where I have to go into the hospital fortnightly or so over a period of time before it then moves to monthly, and they have to inject all this stuff intravenous wise. It's really like ridiculously expensive for this stuff, and it's the final option before the operation. And what the idea of it is to try and minimize the aggression of the Crohn's and stuff, and to try and make my body stronger for the operation. Now the doctors have said the bits are irreparable. The only way we're going to sort this is an operation. It's as simple as that. Now I do laugh and I joke about this. The pain that I was getting, I did kind of just fob it off and go, I'll wait. It then got to the international break. I went into hospital. I went into A&E just like any normal person. I said to him, look, this is the situation. You can look on the records as to my doctor's XYZ. Go and have a look. Within an hour, they had me in a bed and they're pumping stuff into me and stuff. And I started thinking, something's not right here. Why are you already doing this to me? You've not even told me what my diagnosis is and what's going on. Doctor then turned around to me and said to me, what made you come in? And me being me, I joked with him and I turned around and said, it's the international break. And he turned around and laughed and he said, what do you mean? And I said, if Arsenal were playing in a couple of days, I wouldn't have come in, because if you're keeping me in, I'd miss the game. And he turned around and said, it's lucky you come in, because you might not have seen another Arsenal game. And I looked at him and I was like, what are you going on about? he said, you've got a severe infection. It's like, okay, what is it? Wouldn't tell me at the time. He's like, don't worry. He said, just get yourself better. They're pumping steroids into me. They're pumping all these drugs into me and everything else. And I'm actually on the phone to you, texting you. And you're in the departure lounge going to New York. And I'm like, no, I'm all right. Yeah, it's cool. I'm all right. And I'm high on all this shit that they're pumping into me and stuff. And I'm like, have a great break. I said, are you going on your private jet? And we're having a laugh and a joke and all this kind of stuff. And I remember I was on the phone to Tao on the night time. I'm high out of my nut on this stuff. And it makes you talk. And you just, I'm on the phone to Tao for nearly an hour and a half. Right? Just waffling about anything. I don't remember it. I just remember bits of it. And then it weren't until a few days later when I looked at my phone and I went, fuck, what's I on the phone to Town for nearly an hour and a half? What the hell were we talking about? And I'm waffling away. It turns out I had sepsis, which is what killed my brother.
Yeah.
Right? Now, to give people an indication, the lowest form of sepsis is a 40% death rate. It's the highest death rate of anything. Beats cancer, all the rest of it. Because surprisingly enough, cancer's got like a 2-3% death rate. Because there are a lot of people that survive cancer. Sepsis is poison in the blood. It's an infection. It rips through your body. And what happens is, if it doesn't get dealt with straight away, and it gets through certain parts of your bloodstream and whatever, it then goes after every major organ. Your lungs, your kidneys. Where I had my infection was my kidney. It had got to my kidneys. If there weren't an international break, and I'd left it, and went, it's just a flare-up, I deal with it, pop loads of pills and, painkillers, that would have then gone from my kidneys to my lungs, to my heart, wherever.
You see how God works? You always say to me, Robbie, bloody international break, I hate them.
The international break would have saved my life.
Your life.
And you know what? And I look at it and I sit there and I say to myself, and I look at my children, and I think, you know what? As much as I love Arsenal and I love doing what I do and stuff like that, they're my priority. Exactly. They're my priority.
Exactly, 100%.
And what people have got to realise is as well, right? And the reason why I'm being open about a few things is that my operation's going to be pretty soon. And I'm going to be missing a few Arsenal games. And I want people to understand the reason why. And I want people to understand that,
Yeah, but you know what? You don't have to.
I know I don't have to explain.
Justify.
I know I don't have to justify.
I mean,
but at the same time, I'm being open about what's going on right now. And it's, it's kind of like, that's, whereas before I might have said, you know what, I can hold it out till pre-season. And then I'll have the operation. I'll be ready for August when the new season starts. I now need to sit there and say, you know what,
your health comes first. I come
before it. My children, are my children going to sit there if I'm dead and go, what a great Arsenal supporter he was? No, because I'm not looking after my children correctly if I'm thinking more about that. And it's not that I am, it's that football's what I enjoy. It's what I love doing.
Nobody can question your support for Arsenal. I see it, and I've before you've even now you've told people about this. I know it. People come up to me in the past and they've said certain things, and I'm just saying to myself in my head, if only you knew. But I don't say nothing because it's personal stuff, And then again, that's the problem. Everybody's always got something to say, but they don't know people. You know what I mean?
This is the thing that really winds me up, right? Is that because, for instance, I done my T-shirts that we put up for sale, and everyone knows the reason why I done the whole thing, Money Maker. It was a flip on that event from that day, and I wanted to make some money out of it. And I turned around and said, I'm going to take 20% of all sales and I'm going to give it to charity. Now, initially, I turned around, but I'm not. I don't run the business side of it. I don't understand the ins and outs and everything, and the management and everything else are dealing with that side of it. And I turned around and said, every week I'm going to give a bit of money out of each one and give it to 3 charities that are very close to me. And they then turned around and said to me, no, we don't want to do it weekly. They said, we do it monthly, because one week you could sell no shirts. Then the following week, it could be pay week, and you sell 100. So you've given this charity nothing and this one this. What we do is we wait till the end of the month, wait till the whole program's finished, and each one is sold. And then at the end of the month, we add up the full total, and then you take 20% out of that, and then you divide that 20% up between your 3 charities. And the 3 charities are to do with cancer, which is close to my family, Crohn's and colitis, which you now know why, and also the Lullaby Trust, which is for babies that die from cot death. Something again that's happened to me because my brother lost his child, my nephew Kyle, at 4 months old through cot death. So they're 3 charities close to me. This week, I then get a certain account, start tweeting that I'm not actually giving no money to charity, start atting Macmillan Cancer and saying this guy's ripping off, blah, blah. What? Really?
Yeah, I know, that's a problem. Man.
Do I have to come online and justify what I'm actually doing? And people even turn around and say,
I personally have stopped justifying anything I do, right?
It was me that decided to give money to charity.
Yeah. Listen, as long as you're doing it from the heart, I don't give a toss who wants to make their comment and say whatever. I know, my heart knows, the man upstairs knows, the people who are getting it knows. That's good enough for me. I don't care who's gonna, because again, it's haters, man. It's haters.
That's the thing. This is why I sat in a conversation with you and I said that Heavy D winds me up. And I said, because we're at an event, right? We're at an event. It's one of my sons phoning me now. One of the ones that's not at home with me, yeah? And I have got to decline him, sorry. But I have, for example, right? We're at an event, upload event, right? We've been invited along to go there and to do what we're doing. We're there for ArsenalFanTV, right? Heavy D's walking around the place, offering me out all day. And I'm sitting there taking it with a pinch of salt. He's bantering. He's really bantering. Come on now. He's not being serious. And I'm playing along with him. I'm like, yeah. All right then, mate. And I just took it all with a pinch of salt that he was being Heavy D and everything else. The moment we leave this event, within 5 minutes, he's putting online that he's having a fight with me in February at this and
He
this.
really wants to fight you.
And I turn around and I phoned him personally and I said, hold on a minute. I said, you know that I've had some things going on with hospital. I said, I physically can't commit to this right now because of what I'm actually dealing with. And I said, maybe in the summer, I said, we'll look at it. I said, but take that offline. I said, I thought you was joking.
You can't be doing no fight anyway.
No, but I thought, listen, they're not going to be quick enough to hit me in the body. But I turned around and I said to him, I said, look, have some respect. I said, I thought you was joking. I said, there's a reason why I can't do this, and it's because of my medical condition. And I said, let's wait till the summer and see where I'm at. If I've had the operation and I'm 100 times better, cool. I said, we can look at it then. Leave it at that. Then over the last few weeks when people have been saying to him, I thought you was going to fight DT, rare. He's been slyly telling people that I'm, bottled it. And
you did have a go at him, though, on Twitter about the little situation that happened.
Why did I have a go? Because
I don't know, but you had a go.
Because
let's have that part.
Because he had been turning around to people and saying the reason why I'm not fighting DT and I'm after Coogan now is because I'm a pussy. And I'm not, hold on a minute. I told you something about my private life that's very personal. I phoned you and spoke to you about this. Now, you could easily turn around and say, look, it's a personal situation. I'm not going to get involved in that. But to hype yourself and make yourself look better, you're calling me a pussyhole that I bottled this fight. I've not bottled this fight. I just can't do it because I'm physically not well enough to do it right now.
Right, listen.
And that's the thing that's wound me up.
Right, you need to stop making these people wind you up, man. So I know that.
I know that.
I don't know what exactly, but you have to.
You know what? I am getting better in a sense because where I lost my temper the other day, and I said to you that I was wrong, right?
Getting better?
Yeah, no. Because this is the thing, yeah. It would have been.
Oh, you are getting better.
No, because it would have been you phoning me after the game, and you've done your videos and it's calmed down. You've gone, DT, man, you can't go in like that. You can't say them kind of things. You can't react. And I'll be going, nah, fuck that, Robbie. Fuck them, man. Fuck. And I'd be going mad. And you would have to at least badger me for 24, 40 hours before I go, you know what, I was wrong. But within an hour, I was phoning you and I was saying, I apologise, Robbie. I was out of order for doing that. I shouldn't have reacted.
That's true. You're getting better, man.
So, you're
getting better. And even I think opening up on here today, we ain't spoken nothing about football yet, you know that. but opening up here today, I think that's great.
It might make me feel a bit better because this is what people understand.
And you know what? Now you've told everybody, and people are going to continue. It won't stop some people. That's just how they are. It's what I've learnt, man. It's like some people, that's how they are, but I can only control me.
Yeah.
And that's what we have to learn to master. How do we control ourselves? How do we control our own emotions so that when people come with this crap, it doesn't, because that's what they want.
Yeah.
That's what they want. They want you to react. They want to tip you over the edge. Now, football banter's one thing, and I love it.
Personal, I love
it. Getting personal with people, and I hate this rubbish.
And that's the thing, and I don't understand it, and I don't understand why you do. And in recent weeks, I had one woman, for example, over absolutely nothing, without any justification or provocation whatsoever, she brings my children into a tweet. And the best bit about it...
Don't Twitter take it down when you report things like that?
Well, no, because I never reported it, because I absolutely hammered her. Right?
That's what
no, that's what I'm saying, right?
But even hammering
this is the thing, yeah? She mentions my children, and this is the maddest bit about it. She isn't a troll account that's hiding behind an egg or a player and you don't know who it is. This is someone who's openly got their name, their profile, they're a person, and their banner picture is them with their child. You have a child and you feel it's acceptable to go online and bring children into something else.
Why not report?
No, but this is the thing. I
get her so that Twitter then takes her down or reprimands her or whatever.
Because do you know what? Because I've reported people that have said things about my kids and Twitter don't take it down. Because it's not broken our guidelines. Now, we know people at Twitter and stuff like that, and this is, to be honest, Twitter have been very good recently.
They're getting better.
They are getting better.
They're starting
and a lot of their stuff is filtered,
yeah.
and it's all done by a computer. And if it doesn't register on their thing, then it doesn't.
Yeah,
they are
getting better. They are getting better in
so
this sort of
because this was a real person, I thought, you know what, I'm going to humiliate them, and I'm going to say something back to them because. How dare you bring my children into it? We've already established my 3 children live with me. Why would you say something like that? For no reason whatsoever.
To wind you up.
I know, but why my children? Why?
Because they know it'll work.
But it's wrong. It's wrong on so many levels.
Of course it's wrong, but that's what I'm saying.
But then it does show what kind of person they are.
Yeah, but the only person that can, that's what I'm saying, the only person that can control that is you.
I know. And then the reply that I mentioned, I turned around and said to her, I said she needs to be worrying more about why her nose looks like the landing strip at Heathrow. And yeah, that was it. And she got absolutely destroyed.
Yeah, but...
and it was just, and I admit that I was wrong for retaliating. But at the end of the day, I'd been biting my tongue to so much that eventually I see something and it just made me snap. Because I see people that mention my children. I got people telling me that, my brother's better off dead. I got people that's telling me that, my son. Kieran puts up, right? Anyone who knows about what Kieran's going through right now. Yeah? Dealing with a double leg break. He's in an academy at a professional club.
Recovering, coming back good.
Recovering. He'll post something up online of as part of his recovery and stuff like that. And there'll be a comment, hope you break your leg again. And I'm like, well, what?
But
why?
Do you know what, right? Could you imagine footballers, for instance, right? The stick that they get.
Oh, I know. I watched the program the other day. Listen, I watched the program.
And I'm not on about abuse that we, as fans may give them after a game. Why didn't you?
Oh no, I mean,
you didn't put enough work in. Blah blah blah. I'm on about footballers get a lot of personal abuse. Footballers get lots of hate because the amount of money they make. Because a lot of people are jealous, envious. They get serious hate. This is why a lot of footballers, right, have people doing their accounts.
Yeah, and why they won't interact.
I've spoken to a lot of footballers and they've said to me, they go, listen, we'd love to do it ourselves, but they go, I can't handle it. I look on my, and so many people are abusing us. And we know it's only a small minority.
I know.
So this is what I'm saying. You have to think of measures of self-control.
Yeah.
Maybe you need to get someone who comes in and gives you a little hand with it, who can filter out these things. Maybe, but as I said, the only people who can control it
are yourself.
Is yourself.
I understand that.
You cannot control some idiot is sitting in his bedroom in front of his computer. You could lock off him, someone else will come at you.
Yeah.
Lock off that one, someone else. That's what I've realised now.
And this is the thing, I know which Arsenal players run their accounts and which ones don't.
Yeah, and some of them,
I've sat and had conversations with Arsenal players. And, you know, I'm not going to mention the names of which one run their accounts and which ones don't. But one of them, who doesn't run his account, I was very shocked by. Because he's very, you know, he does like his own Snapchats and stuff like that, which you know. But he says, you know, you can't. He said to me, he goes, Twitter. He goes, it's mad.
That's why a lot of footballers, check it out. A lot of them are not on Twitter. They're on Instagram because it's easier to control the sort of comments and it's you don't have to. You can just be posting your stuff and you don't really have to react to. It's not like as a conversational type thing. And again, that's because there's a lot of hate out there, which is completely wrong. But I think a lot of them just say to themselves, what do? I need to control this in some way. So I can't deal with this coming through constant stuff. So what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to do Twitter, I'm going to do Insta, or I'm going to have somebody control my account, filter it out, show me the better stuff, or show me the stuff where it's constructive criticism. And the hatred stuff, they just can't. And so maybe that's something you have to consider. If it winds you up so much, you know, but it is all down to us, because at the end of the day, you can't control other people. Twitter can't control it. YouTube can't control it. No, you know, look at the problems that YouTube are having at the moment with trying to control abuse, and so it's impossible for them to eradicate it completely. So the only people that can control it is us, and we control it with how we think about things, how we deal with things, and we stop letting things like that, as hard as it is. And I see from, you know, this podcast, the emotion, you know, and some of the things that have gone on, and I've gone through similar things, but only us, because these people, unfortunately, we're talking about a tiny minority of people out there, but they know what they're up to. And they're horrible people.
Yeah, they are.
And they're probably living horrible lives.
Live with their mum and dad.
They're living horrible, horrible lives, and nothing's carrying on for them. As they would say in Jamaica, not nagwan for them, right? And because of that, the only pleasure they can get in their little devious way is to try, let me wind up DT. Let me wind up Robbie. Let me get news for you, man. You ain't winding me up. But whilst you're doing your thing, you're hating that, I'm trying to progress my life for me, myself, my family, my friends. So you're wasting your time. And then what starts to happen is, after a period of time, these people start to realise that they're wasting time, and they say, boy, he never reacts to anything I put up, man. I put up some things about his dad, his brother, his twin. He hasn't reacted to nothing. Gee, I'm done with DT, man. Let me move on to the next one. Let me go for Tao next.
But this was the thing, like I was trying to say to you, there was, I got into a programme the other day, which is about trolls, celebrities that are being trolled, and they go and confront them. They go and investigate, find out who the troll is, etc., etc. And you were saying about footballers and stuff, and they done one on Rebecca Vardy, and I remember this very clearly at the time, and it was when she put a picture up of a 2-year-old child, and I think they just won the league. She was at Leicester's grounds. She had a little kit on with daddy on the back and everything else. Beautiful little photo, such, you know, innocent, such a proud thing. And there were people in the comments that they were going to gang rape this child and stuff like that. And she got the police involved. And the main one, they traced the IP, they done everything, and it was someone living in India. And they couldn't do nothing about it because it's not in this country. If it was in this country, they would be prosecuted and dealt with. And I sat down and thought to myself, Jesus Christ, what goes through your mind to see a child of that age and say these things? You're going to rape a 2-year-old child and stuff. And it's fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
And I would love to get my hands on people like that, because why? What gives you the right? I don't like Jamie Vardy because he mugged us off. But I would never dare go onto a picture of your child and say something like this. And it's like, why?
It's disgusting, but it's disgusting.
But this is the world that some people...
That little sad person He's living in India, right? I don't know where he lives, but he's a sad person.
You know what I mean?
Rebecca Vardy's all right, mate. She's getting on okay.
She's in the jungle now. Or
She's
I don't know if she's been evicted
I don't know,
or
right, but she's getting on all right, man.
You know what I mean?
She's got a nice life. She's got a nice house. Her and her husband's doing very well. She's doing very well.
You know,
that's why they're trying to do that.
Without mentioning Arsenal in this programme, they turned around and said that there was a period where her husband was rumoured to be moving clubs, and I straight away went, fucking Arsenal.
Yeah, because he got a lot of abuse, didn't he?
And she said, right, and this opened my eyes to so much, right? And, you know, you can call her any name you want. You can call her a gold digger or this. We don't realise she was with Jamie Vardy when he was, way before he become this thing in the Premier League, you know, and everything else. And she said that when this was done, and there was the rumours of Arsenal and everything, she said that there were people outside their gates, climbing over, banging on the door. This is a house with 4 children. Well, I didn't think she only had 3 then, and she just had 1. But the children were in this house. We don't see this, and we don't understand it. And it opened my eyes to a lot as well. And this programme goes through all kinds of celebrities, and they had people that were on X Factor to Big Brother, all these type of things. And they were open and revealing some of the abuse they get. And I just sit there and I'm like, What goes through your mind to just randomly wake up in the morning and go, you're a fat cunt, you're a nonce, you're a paedophile, you're this, you're that. And they went and confronted some of these trolls face to face. One of them, there was one guy in Scotland, and I think every line you could cross, he crossed. He was racially abusive, calling, you know, black people the N-word, and that they shouldn't be in this country, rare.
I've had a lot of that.
You know, he was talking about, and he went after one of the girls that was in X Factor, and she went, and he was this big man online that said all these big words. She was waiting outside his yard. He'd come out for work in the morning. The van was waiting for him to come out to his work and everything. He came out. The guy cowered like a little bitch and ran in his house, which just shows you a big man online. But you're not big when you go and confront the one person that you've been trolling. And it was just...
I must admit, since I've been doing this, there was one guy I confronted, right, who had a lot of... That was when we first started, before I kind of got a bit of self-control. And I saw this guy at game, and he had so much mouth online. And then when I was like, okay, I'm here now. No. I was going, oh, no buts now. And I just looked at him and said, look at this idiot now. This is the guy with so much mouth, getting personal, saying that. I didn't know this guy from Adam, all this personal stuff. When you're face to face with him now, I'm like, yeah, you couldn't even live a day where I'm from. And you're coming and... But that's when you start to realise the reality of this thing is, these trolls are just...
Do you know what?
They need to get a life, really. Get a life, man.
I hope that people watch this podcast. I know we've gone off.
Hey, you know what? Hold on. Let's talk about some football before we go.
I know, but what I'm saying is
right?
that we've gone completely off. We've gone completely off topic.
Important. I love the fact that we've done this, though, because it's been important.
But that's what I mean. I hope that this opens eyes to some people. I hope that people who... You know what? If there's some people out there that have trolled, right? I hope that they watch this and something inside them can go... You know what? I hope I stop. I need to stop doing that. I need to stop saying what I'm saying, because at the end of the day, I'm a human. I'm a real person. So are you. And at the end of the day, I might come across on camera as a big tough guy and I'm aggressive and this and that and the other. I'm possibly one of the most nicest and easiest people that you could talk to off camera.
Is it?
You shut up. You know what I mean? But I can sit there. The amount of people that have met me after a game and stuff, and they will sit there and go, you know what, DT's a really nice guy to talk to. He's so, you know, don't talk to me after we've lost, because I don't want to talk to anyone. Do you know what I mean?
I was just about to say that. I was like,
But, you know, it's just like, I hope that some people can sit there now and realise and go, you know what?
Listen, we're all real people.
He's a normal person at the end of the day, and off camera, I have a heart and I have feelings.
That's the same, and it goes the same. It goes the same for footballers. It goes the same for these people that are in the limelight. They're people, man. You know what I mean? Just don't, come on. You know what I mean? You can have a go at a footballer about his performance. You can have a go at a footballer, you know, I'll tell you the other day, with this thing with Troy Deeney.
Yeah.
So he said the thing about Arsenal with the cojones and stuff like that, right?
And people have been abusing his kids.
He had his open. Some people were starting to talk. The man, I spoke to him.
I've spoke to him,
and he said to me, he goes, "Robbie, people are talking about my kids there, and why?" The man made a comment about Arsenal's not having, not being brave enough in certain games, and that's his opinion. He never said anything about anyone's kids, or he didn't say anything about Arsenal fans. He didn't. All right, you might have been upset about what he said, and the players of Arsenal dealt with it in the right way, and they've gone out since that game and they've shown cojones, even in the defeat against Manchester United. They show cojones because they didn't just lie down and die in that game. So they've reacted in the right way. What gives people the right to start attacking the man's kids?
I mean. They've attacked his kids.
It's disgusting.
I've spoken to him, and they've attacked his kids, and they've brought up the fact that he's been to prison.
Yes,
and stuff like that. And I sit there and I'm just like,
the guy to me is one of the best role models in football.
Because
Troy
he's changed
Deeney.
his
Because
life
you know
around.
what, the guy has been at rock bottom, and he's an inspiration for a lot of people out there. There's been a lot of people out there that I've got a lot of friends, personal friends that have been in his situation, been in prison, and not all of them have been able to bounce back.
No.
And this man, what he's done and the way in which he's bounced back and that, he's a role model, right? So, his kids, come on, man, you wouldn't say it to his face because he'd knock you out. But anyway, Southampton.
Yeah.
Southampton. We go up against it. Now we go. I know we've been talking all so much about.
I don't know what to say now about the game.
It's one of those games that again could wind us up because we've got a terrible record against them.
Yeah,
we've got Southampton away. We've got a poor record against Southampton away. I think we've won one in the last 6 meetings. I think it is. I sort of look at one of our last 6 games there away, and that was last season.
Yeah, we beat them in the cup as well, didn't we?
We beat them. Yeah, we beat them in the cup. Well, that was a B team they played, really. Wasn't it? And then we beat them last season. Mm-hmm. But previous to that, one game I'll never forget was going there on Boxing Day. And we got beat 4-0.
Yeah.
It's going to be a tough game.
It will be a tough game, and we've got to go into it with the same kind of attitude that we have, but we've got to defend better. It's that simple, really.
And Mustafi and Koscielny going to be under a lot of pressure in that because they came under a lot of criticism following that Manchester United game. It's almost like everybody else done their job apart from you two. And you cost us the game. They're going to be under a lot of pressure, and the Southampton forwards will know it. And they've got some tricky guys up front. Charlie Austin is on fire at the moment, scoring goals for fun. Boufal is a handful. Redmond. They've got some good players. Tadic. So defensive wise, they're going to be up against it at the weekend.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about the game, to be honest. It's just
confident. Because now after the United thing, it's one of those that we have to win again, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. I said I was confident before Man United, and look how that got me. I'm going to go back to being negative and being not confident, and then we might start pulling the results out. I think that's the best way of doing it.
They ain't been playing that great though. Southampton.
No, they haven't.
Was it last game they drew with Bournemouth? Mm-hmm. In a game that Bournemouth were really unlucky not to win that game. They should have had a penalty.
I think that's more the first half. Southampton were really good in the second half.
That was away.
Beat Everton at home 4-1.
They lost away to Man City. That's no disgrace.
That was 96th minute.
Yeah, but they lost. But they put in a very good performance in that game. Got smashed by Everton. 4-1. How did lost to Liverpool?
They smashed Everton.
Sorry, they smashed Everton 4-1. They lost to Liverpool, and they lost to Burnley at home. So they're not, last 5 games, lost 3, won 1, drawn 1. So it's not a great record for them at the moment.
Not.
They're not.
But it's us.
But then we've got a poor record at St Mary's, but we did win there last year. I think if Arsenal go there and they're positive and they're on the front foot,
then we'll
win the game.
Yeah, we have to. Don't go in it.
If we go there, I think, and we allow them in. They've got, as I said, Charlie Austin's on form at the moment. We'll be in big trouble.
Definitely. Yeah, that's the one we've got to watch. He's played the last couple of games and he's scoring goals as well.
And that Boufal's decent. So
yeah, we're going to have to watch out. But
yeah,
it'd be interesting. Like I said, I'm just going to reserve my judgment and sit negatively, and then we might end up going and winning games and stuff. So that's the way I'm looking at it. If I get too positive, then I'm getting too ahead of myself, and we'll end up getting kicked in the teeth like we always do. So
I saw something during the week, right, and I was going to ask you about this, right? So there's a big rumour going around, right, at Arsenal that Ozil may stay, and Alexis, you know, is probably
the one that's
going to be the one likely to go. But I wanted to ask you, you've got the two players, Mesut Ozil, Alexis Sanchez, right? And they both come to you, and they both offer. They're both going to stay, but you only allowed to keep one as the manager. You can only keep one out of Mesut Ozil and Alexis Sanchez. Who would you keep
right now? Mesut Ozil.
You keep Mesut Ozil. Why?
Right now, because he's the one performing, even though the rumour is that he's going. Alexis just hasn't been performing. He just hasn't. It's that simple. He just simply hasn't been performing. He's been poor. He wasn't that great in the Man United game. Yes, he created the chance and whatever, but his overall performance was poor.
He gives the ball away. I say this every week,
and that's what I mean. And then you look at the Burnley game, he wasn't good. You go to the Man City game, he was awful. You know,
he owes us some performances.
That's what I mean. Bar the Man City game, I've been very happy with Ozil's contribution this season and his overall. And I'm looking at it and saying, you know what? Build a team around him. We've got a good 3-4 years out of him, Build a team around him. Because over the last few weeks, the performances by him as well have been absolutely top draw.
Few weeks.
No, but I think it's been the season. I think during the course of the season, he hasn't put a foot wrong. He's been perfectly fine. But when the result hasn't gone the right way or something, he's the scapegoat. Now, I've said that all along. But the last few weeks, there seems to be an even... like he's stepped up an even higher level. Like he's taken it and said, all right, you know what? You want me to grab games by the scruff of the neck? If I really have to make myself stand out. For me, he stood out anyway. You know what I mean? Even when we go to the Stoke defeat, people will sit there and go, Mesut Ozil. I was sitting there watching Ozil running and tackling and everything in that game. But people don't mention that. So it's like he said, all right, maybe I have to step up even higher. Or maybe his personal life is going so great that it's bouncing off him on the pitch because we know that he's getting married. And they've just recently bought a new house in London and that's where they're going to live.
So he's going to Chelsea then.
And I'm the negative. You know what I mean?
So all right. So if you kept Ozil and Alexis went, who could replace him? Because there's been talk of a lot of people. There's been
we're talking
talk
about
of Draxlers.
We're talking Draxlers.
Nabil Fekir.
We're talking Lamar's. We're talking Goretzka. As well. I know they're talking about apparently Nzonzi was in London. Well, it's been confirmed he is in London, but they've said he's gone to see his son. A bit random, but and Nzonzi himself has come out and said that he wished it didn't have to be the way it is. But
Nzonzi would be good as an enforcer to put him behind somebody like a Mesut Ozil and let him go and play his game.
Exactly. So maybe the rumours about Ozil are true, and we're now building for him. You're building around him. So maybe he's Arsenal's priority. Maybe Arsenal said, right, he's the one, because apparently everything that's been offered on the table to Alexis is...
he wants out. So should we get rid of him if there's a fee?
If he wants out, then
if a fee comes in for him in January,
they're talking 50 million is going to get him in January. That's what the Arsenal are saying.
50 million, I'll take it.
Well, obviously, but
no one's
exactly.
No one's going to offer 50 million pounds to a guy who can leave in a few months after that.
There you go. Maybe Arsenal are sitting there saying, you know what, if we can keep Ozil, then that will soften the blow of losing Alexis for nothing in the summer. If you want in January and it's going to disrupt everything, 50 million.
Yeah, but then
you want him that? No. But that's what Arsenal are saying. You want him 50 million? Go on then. You want him that bad? Can't get him. Because otherwise, you're not disrupting our team, and we're going to keep him, and we'll let him go in the summer. And maybe the blow of losing him for free will be, you know, a lot softer if
I
Ozil.
was thinking about this the other day, and I'm thinking that in January, I think Arsenal need to do a lot of business. And the reason why I'm saying that, right, is because this summer is the World Cup.
Yeah.
And we all know what happens when the World Cup's on, right? The prices of players go through the roof because... So I think Arsenal need to identify what they need and try and get them in January, or at least as soon as the season finishes. But they need to start looking at people, and even if they don't get them in January, say to them, listen, well, can we get a guarantee that when we come in for you in the summer, you'll come to us? Because you don't want to leave it like our usual leaving it, and the World Cup's on, you know, and you end up losing, you know, all these players doubling price and things like that.
Well, this is where we see what the new guys are doing. You know, apparently the Nzonzi thing, he's really, really highly recommended by the guy that we just brought in from Dortmund. It's him that's really, you know, so if we brought him in for certain reasons and he's already implementing those and saying, right, let's go and get him now. It's got a release clause, don't fuck about. Don't sit there and go, we're giving you 25, because they're going to go away. And what you're going to do is you're going to piss around all summer or all January. You know, let's go get the job done. So instead of waiting until the end of January when, you know, you're out of everything and you're miles, I know we're miles behind Man City anyway, but, you know, you're really, really miles away. Go get the job done on the 1st of January, and then he can contribute to helping you, you know, stay in those competitions and move further up the table from the start of January. Go and get the job done now. So that instead of there being speculation and all these different things in January, there's no speculation, because everyone could go, well, Arsenal have done their business, not worth speculating now. They've done their business, they've done this, they've done that. And this is the one thing that I want Arsenal to sort before January. Is Ozil going? Is he staying? Is Alexis going? Is he staying? Make your decision. Yeah, make your decision.
Make a decision.
Yeah, and stick by that. Because the one thing we don't want...
made a decision over the last 2 years.
Yeah, but the one thing we don't want as fans is for 30 odd days... Going, staying, club wants him, club don't want him, this, that. Because it just derails everything. And it causes confusion.
But even if they stay, you're going to get it every day, because it's just going to be pure rumours every day. They're staying, they're going, they're staying.
But this is why I think the club really need to come out and definitively say.
Yeah, but nobody believes them.
No, I know they don't believe it. But then
when they come out and say something now, nobody believes it.
Maybe it needs someone higher up than Arsene Wenger to come out and do an interview and say it.
It's Stan Kroenke. He hasn't said nothing in about 3 years.
Even Ivan Gazidis. Maybe it needs one of them.
Yeah, but nobody believes them. That's the problem, because they've said players are staying in the past and they're gone.
But none of them have ever actually come out and done it.
Even this summer, Alexis is staying on the last day of the transfer window. He's nearly gone. So the credibility's gone.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. And it's a difficult one. But I just don't want January to be a month where results, you know, where there's something to blame. I don't want, you know, to look at it and say, you know what, it's because of the uncertainty of this and this, why we've just lost to, you know, such and such, and I don't need that. I want to have a peaceful month, man.
Listen, this has been an emotional roller coaster of a podcast. It really has. So I wasn't expecting this, but you know what, it's been really good to get things out there and open. You know, really enjoyed this podcast, really have. Give us your comments on some of the things that we've spoken about, as to do with trolls and that. If you've been through anything as well, let us know, and you know, tell us how you feel about the whole thing. Be honest, you know, either way, be honest. And also, I want to know what you think. Southampton game. Do you think we'll win it? You know, we need to win it now. It's one of those must-win games. And also, the question that I asked DT: if you could keep only one, who would it be? Ozil or Alexis? Let me know. Do a poll on it. Who would you keep? Ozil or Alexis? Let me know. Thanks for watching the All Guns Blazing podcast. Don't forget you can download it. Cough in my throat now.
Emotional.
I'm choked up. Right?
Emotional.
You can download the podcast. The link is in the description below. Thanks to everybody who's been downloading that and making it such a popular podcast. And we'll be back next week.
Yeah, man. I'm going to behave for a week.